Yo, 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 A-Dot! Okay, it's the Thursday night golf show with myself, the average golfer, and Joey the tweet as ever. Interesting week, but before we get on to any golfing news, Joe, this is where we need to start, mate.
It's his birthday.
Can you see that?
21 today.
That's obviously me, and I don't know if that's you in the wig.
Oh, yeah.
Because if anyone suggests that's my wife, then... That was off Ben the cameraman. That was the only cake I've had. That was the only card I've had today. Cheers, Ben.
Welcome.
Thank you. Anyway, big old week, big week for Upload TV. Our golf channel has just gone through the roof and riding on the back of a bit of controversy, really. A few people have questioned why we butted in, I suppose. But for me, a big debate over the last week or so since. Our fellow YouTuber Mark Crossfield was ignored from the launch of the new Taylormade product.
Yeah, up in Miami, Palm Beach.
Palm Beach, not Miami. We've been corrected.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, bloody hell, yeah, sorry.
The one thing we have found out this week is that I made a statement in one of our earlier Thursday night shows is that we don't get any negative comments. That's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been quite a hurtful week.
Just a bit. It was in tears the last few days. Some of the things really people say. How can you say that? But anyway. Real good video as far as we're concerned because the amount of debate and comments that it brought was really, really interesting and lots of opinions both for and against. Yeah. Obviously for being for Mark Crossfield and against Taylormade and obviously vice versa, some negativity towards Crossfield. And what we want to start with really is going through some of the interesting comments that were made and draw some conclusions at the end of it all, really. So in support of Mark, we got Sharon Wooster, who said that well, she'd seen a recent review of someone who did get the clubs. I'm not mentioning any names, but so we can all guess who that perhaps might have been. Matched the old M1 with the new M1, and the results were exactly the same. Vicky Martinoff, she says she can see Taylormade coming a cropper over this by ignoring Crossfield. Taylormade been found out and they will deeply regret it. Interesting. Yeah. Brendos, Crossfield definitely the best golf reviewer on YouTube.
Besides us. I think he's
Does it say that in the footer?
No, he's missed that one.
No, well, hopefully we change his opinion, mate, in the years ahead. Simon Sotheby Ryland, double barrel surname. But what a great guy, because first time watching one of your vids and just subscribe, so thank you for that, Simon. He also says looking forward to more vids from you guys, so thanks again. Yeah. But the actual comment that we're looking for is like him or loathe him, MC Mark Crossfield has a massive following, and once you cut through the humour, he speaks a lot of sense. Ken Phillips, at least with Crossfield you get honesty, he tells it how it is. And another PS he adds there that he's just put the M2 into his top drivers for Christmas. So again, plenty of question marks here and suggestions as to why you mightn't support Mark, and then a contradiction on the other side as to why you perhaps should. Carrying on the flip side of the coin, Andrew Morgan says Mark's problem, he acts like a kid throwing a tantrum and his groupies start trolling other YouTubers. First of all, on the trolling of other YouTubers, I mean, one thing I have seen quite a lot of is comments do get a bit deep, don't they, mate?
Yeah,
they get a bit aggressive.
Get a bit nasty sometimes.
Never going to bother me, I'm afraid, so keep them coming. You're going to have to try a bit harder than that, but I cannot understand how they don't even throw the two penneth in as a comment on the video. Yeah. They comment on other people's comments and start arguing with them, which is a real interesting one. But as far as trolling other YouTubers, we're not into that whatsoever. NWH, whatever that stands for. Where was Crossfield during Taylormade's M1 release last year? So again, it says he was invited but did not attend. We can't substantiate that claim. I don't know whether that's right at all, but if he was indeed invited and didn't show, then again, another reason why Taylormade may choose otherwise this year. Another common comment that rang through, this is from Rich, is it Colgan? Do you say that?
I don't know.
Don't know, but you know you are, Rich, if you're watching. Coach Lockie is a Callaway staff player, and Mark is also sponsored by Callaway. Now this is a real interesting one because there's no doubt that they use Callaway product, although I know he's got Mizuno irons in his bag, so again that to me is another contradiction on the contradiction. But I've also seen a lot of people both via Twitter and on YouTube asking him to clarify the position if he does have any affiliation with Callaway, and as far as I can see he's still not cleared that up. So if you're listening, Mark, I think we'd all like to know exactly what the association with Callaway is, because I still to this day really struggle to find out anybody can claim to be this kind of independent reviewer if you have any association with any manufacturer whatsoever. And there is only one golf channel that reviews clubs totally independently with a totally honest review, and that's Little OT Upload. We're a small cog in this whole thing, don't get me wrong, very much new kids on the block. Well, Joey's a new kid, I'm an old boy on the block, but the channel is very much new. 260 odd videos in, watch all of them and you'll see that all you get is honesty in terms of review. Seriously, we've slated product where it needs to be slated. Constructively, don't get me wrong, when I say slated, maybe not as aggressive as that. But our opinions are very much true and honest. We don't have any association with any brand whatsoever. So anybody who supports us and watches, I assure you, it's 100% honesty. But I do question, like I said, if there are any ties with a manufacturer, it's impossible not to be.
Yeah, because like you'd feel bad to slate their product if they're giving you products.
Well, you're obliged. It's almost like I said, this is about human nature. It's not about telling lies as such or being dishonest.
Yeah.
It's about human nature, and if someone is paying for you to go somewhere or giving you product, I think there's a certain amount of politeness required. So I question how honest someone can be and how independent they can be in a review when they've been put in that position. And if you can do that, then you're a strong person, let me tell you. Again, Aero UK says Mark Crossfield is definitely sponsored by by Callaway. I think that's the problem. So again, similar sort of comment. Art T, I think that's on the wrong. We printed out on the wrong one, but anyway, this is in support of Mark. So Mark is real and will tell you how it is. That's why he's got the subscribers that he has, and again, huge following that Mark Crossfield has got. So again, between Crossfield reviews and let's say Rick's or Pete's, and this is by Missy Lamotte, great name. What was different though was the amount of content they produced and how much effort they put into it. Again, there's been question marks raised over the sort of the quality of his editing. I know you spend a lot of time editing our videos, Joe.
Yeah.
Would you like to elaborate?
I think Mark's been, it does look like he's been busy on like travelling and such, so he has put a bit less effort into the editing of, say, his product reviews. It
appears that way. I mean, I can say we don't know. We're a complete observer in this situation. I don't know. I'm not a great watcher of his channel. I said that the other week and people said, oh, you don't like Mark Crossfield. No, I didn't say that. He's not my cup of tea in terms of sense of humour. Him personally, whatever he does for the game, I'm all for. Totally support it. His channel, he's got massive subscribers, so hats off to him. I ain't got a problem with that. But from our perspective, you do a little bit of research and you look at his channel at the moment, it's heavily dominated by
on-course vlogs and travel.
He's in Mauritius, or he's just come back from Mauritius this week, and that's obviously to do with his association with Your Golf Travel, and again, part and parcel of what he does. No problem with that whatsoever. But if you're an outsider looking in, he does seem to have spent less time reviewing golf product than he used to.
Yeah, of course. It does definitely look like that.
And maybe that again has influenced the decision as to why Taylormade is excluded. Or well, maybe there's Taylormade haven't excluded. Maybe there's a whole justifiable reason that will come out of a wash, and we'll find out soon. Higgins 340S said that Muppet Crossfield used to be the man for reviews, and then goes on to say he has slagged TM for years. Well, again, I'm not a great watcher of his videos or his back catalogue, so I'll have to take your word for that. And again, if that's true, again, I can understand why Taylormade would take offence to that and drop him off your invite list. My Fox World, very lazy review of the M2 irons. He got some, again, if you want to read the comments in full. Got a lot of the descriptions wrong in terms of the loft of the irons and things like that, which, and again, he goes on, sending a golf pro an iron to review who doesn't get the specs right is a bit unprofessional. Again, I'm with you on that one. interesting one to finish, because this is where a contradiction has been. A lot of people have suggested, who cares about Mark Crossfield's sort of opinion? Taylormade are not going to be reliant on that. Clearly they're a global brand and they're not reliant on necessarily a YouTuber's opinion. But that said, a lot of golfers do pay attention to those reviews. They have a lot of respect to Mark Crossfield. I still feel that he should have got that club in his mitts to give a review. And this goes on to say that big brands do take notice of what is out there in YouTube land. And I do think that is the case. You know, like it or lump it, we've had, again, going back to our little world and our what has now become a 1,500 subscribers, which we're delighted at. Even those people have bought clubs on the back of our reviews, and plenty of comments that have suggested that. So I do think it's important that Mark should have been sent that club. Anyway, lob that to one side. Piles of paper in the middle. Unfortunately, needed to use those. I couldn't have relayed that information from off the top of my head, I'm afraid. So just as an overview, and we're certainly dragging this Crossfield debate out, but I think it's been really an interesting one. Certainly judging by the comments that we've had on our own videos, it suggests that as well. The overview is this. They've got point number one. There's been question marks. This is an overview of all the comments put together, if you like. Question the validity and the professionalism of his reviews. Number two, I would say, is question his association and affinity with Callaway. Point three has been his long-standing dislike of TM. People have questioned that he's continually criticised Taylormade products. Like I said, this isn't factual. I'm relaying an overview of the comments. So if this is incorrect, don't bring it on us. This is what we've literally pulled together from the comments. Then there's a lot of question marks been thrown at Taylormade. That they're afraid of the honest review, and again, I do think that's a real situation that they have to deal with. You can't release new product because you want to release new product and sell more golf clubs if there is no justifiable reason to do so. That is really taking the mickey out of the general golfing public. In the reviews that have been done so far, again, we haven't had the club yet. Like I said, we're right down on the pecking order, but in the reviews that have done so far, there has been nothing to suggest that this club is any better
there's nothing
than the previous club.
No.
So it's difficult to understand why anybody in the right mind would then, especially if you're an M1 or M2 current user, to shell out another £450 for the upgraded version. You've got to question why you would do that. And again, point five, again, there was a common theme amongst all the comments, was again questions the number of releases that Taylormade make as a manufacturer. It's been a criticism that's been aimed at them quite a lot over the years. I think they've actually reined in a little bit in terms of what they've released, but it still hangs over them in terms of a question mark. So there you go. That is the end of the Mark Crossfield debate as far as we're concerned. But we'd still like to know your thoughts on our overview and our assessment, if you like, of it all. So don't forget, we've really enjoyed all the comments in this last week. I don't mind the negativity as well, throw them in as well. We've had plenty of fun with those. So stick them down below, however you feel, and where possible, we will try and reply. So finally, there was one comment that was made, and I really can't understand this, Joe.
I know, it's weird.
A guy suggested that is the man bun on the left
still alive?
That must be you. It's not me, the man bun, is it? Still alive, and we look like a pair of stuffed parrots. Bit offensive.
Yeah.
Bit offensive. Can't stand that one, Joe.
No. Bit nasty.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Let's drag another piece of paper forward, and hopefully, Joe, we can move on to our own stuff now. Let's stop hanging on the coattails of Crossfield. We got enough out of it, didn't we?
Yeah.
We got. Do you know what? We got. I don't know. We almost doubled our subs over the last week.
Yeah, crazy.
So yeah, some people suggested it was a bit of a marketing ploy by us, but it was literally an off-the-cuff video, but it's done us quite well. So. Right. Okay, so on to this week's news in terms of Teoplo, and as ever, it was a Monday morning trip down to Clark's Golf Centre. That's in St Helens, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. And did a quick head-to-head video, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it was someone suggested in the comments to do the
They did,
crossover
that's right, yeah.
versus the Strixon ZU65.
That's it, got spot on. Yeah, I think, and again, we do pay attention to our comments, and it was a good point actually, because we were sort of drying up in terms of not a lot of products coming out, was there, at the moment?
No, besides the M2 stuff and M1.
Yeah, but we did the Strixon ZU65, the full review, again, links down below if you want to watch that one. And someone suggested they'd like to see it compared to the Ping crossover. So that's exactly what we did on Monday morning, and here's a quick look back at the footage. Oh, that's a ball, Joe.
That was a nice shot.
That's right out of the screws, that one. Unbelievably easy to hit is the first thing I'd say. I always like to make a few excuses on a Monday morning, but when you think about it, sort of maybe a dozen warm-up shots and still a bit stiff in the old back at this time in the morning. They're you know, if I'm going to struggle, it's going to be at this time in the morning, and they're going quite well considering.
Yeah, tiny bit shorter, so,
yeah,
but not much.
Okay, so don't forget, if you want to watch that one in full, Joey, you'll put the links down below, no doubt.
Down below.
Yeah, it was interesting, to be honest. I enjoyed that, and really impressed with both clubs. So yeah, see how you going with that one. Over to you, Joe.
Yeah, a bit of light-hearted news now. Back to the light-hearted stuff.
The fun always comes from you, see. I'm the you know, the good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, I'm the good cop.
Yeah. Go on then.
So it's on a golf course in Australia. Usually see crocodiles in America, but this time
we've often seen in the kind of Florida and what, you'll see a crocodile.
Yeah, and now we've got a python.
Yeah.
Eating a willoughby.
I'd say turn away if you're a bit squeamish, because I'm not that fond of this image. But
yeah.
Got something?
Yeah.
I must admit, I'd be pretty freaked out if I seen that going on a golf course. And the scary bit was, how did this thing arrive?
Oh yeah, apparently it fell out of a tree on top of the willoughby.
That's a bit of a surprise for
bit of a struggle, and then.
Was it a willoughby or a wallaby?
A willoughby, wallaby.
I think it'd be a wallaby. Will he, won't he be?
Yeah.
Not anymore, anyway. God, that's such a bad joke. Can we cut that there?
Yeah, just snip that straight
Snip out. That right out. So there you go, yeah, just be careful when you're golfing in Australia. That's a python, 13-foot python, wow. Anyway, we've had a fair bit of serious stuff again on the old Crossfield debate, so we'll end, our year is coming to an end, and I mentioned it last week, I think, about the Christmas bloopers video. Arguably our best content of the year, where we have, you'll see all the outtakes where there's a bit of fun and laughter going on. Odd swear word thrown in as well, so switch off. Well, they'll be bleeped out, won't they?
Yeah, they'll be bleeped out.
So yeah, if you're easily offended, maybe turn off, but nothing too offensive in there, I hope. But anyway, we're going to leave you there. We'll see you next week on the Thursday Night Golf Show, and here's a clip of our Christmas bloopers, which will be out in full next week. Have a good week.
Thanks for watching.
You ready? Are we recording? Yeah. Hey guys, welcome. No, so it's going to be a take two, mate. I know it because I haven't got a clue what I'm saying.
Is your mic on?
Yeah. Ready? No, man, this ain't going to work. Right.
So just again, look to the camera. So I've got a little.
Oh yeah. Right, are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to the Upload TV, and thanks for joining us this week on. Okay, welcome back to the Upload TV, and thanks for joining us this week. The average golfer. Oh dear me.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
No, that's special.
Do you know what? We share we share a studio with the Bake King, and I get that. Jeez. Where do we go with that, Joe? It's a big cut.
Yeah, mate.
But geez, they're back again. I can't get rid of these lot.
What were you just
You okay?
saying?
Whoa, what is that?
Happy birthday, man. Hey.
Let me dip that forward without dropping it. Can you see that?
That's beautiful.